Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. So today I want to talk about stacking and storing firewood the easy way. If you've spent any time with firewood at all, you know you can very easily spend more time moving your firewood and stacking it than you do actually cutting and splitting it. So before we get into the easy way, I want to show you how we used to do it. Stay tuned. Now I want to be clear here before we get started. What I'm going to be talking about today is strictly how many times you're touching the wood after it's been split. I think I might do a separate video on touching the firewood the least amount of times, bringing it out of the woods, but for today we're going to focus on after the wood has already been split. So prior to the new way of doing it, what I would do is I would bring firewood rounds out of the woods and I would stack them where I was going to be splitting them and then stacking them subsequently. So once you split it, now you have to touch it one time stacking it. And then when you're ready to bring it inside to burn in the wintertime, you have to touch it again to put it in the back of the side-by-side, pickup truck, whatever vehicle you're using to bring it inside. Could be a wheelbarrow. So that's the second time that you're going to be touching it. And then you have to unstack it wherever you're going to load it. For me, what I was doing is I was bringing it in my basement. So I would throw it down in the basement. So there's a third time that you're touching it. And then once it was down in the basement, I'd have to go down in the basement and stack it a fourth time. So that would be your fourth time touching it. And then you finally get to the point where you're ready to bring it upstairs and throw it in your fireplace, wood stove, whatever. So that would be a fifth time touching it after the wood has been split. Now let's talk about the new way to do it, to decrease the amount of times you have to touch and handle the firewood. All right, so now that we've established that it takes 5 touches to get the firewood from being split into your wood stove, let's talk about the new way to do it. So as you can see here, I've got an IBC tote right there. That stands for Intermediate Bulk Container. They hold about 1/3 of a cord. And what you do is you cut them open. There's a plastic bladder in there that you cut out and take out. And then you can cut that little notch in there so that you can reach into the bottom and stack pretty nice in there. And then what I do is I keep the splitter in one spot all the time. This is my splitting station down here. And since what I stack it in is movable, I can bring these IBC totes in here, fill them up, and then take them with the pallet forks on the tractor and then go stack them and put them away. So let's start counting touches here. So after the wood is split and it comes off the conveyor of the Easton Made axis, I have 1 touch to get it into that basket. And then when I want to go ahead and put it in my stack, that doesn't require any touches. That's the tractor. All I have to do is pick it up with the pallet forks and go stack it down there in that row. So now that it's been sitting there for a year, let's say it's October and we're ready to start bringing wood in to burn for the winter time, we're going to go ahead and bring the tractor with the pallet forks down, grab a basket and bring it up. So we're avoiding another touch there. And then when you're ready to put it wherever you're going to set it down, normally that would be another touch because you'd have to unstack it from your pickup truck, wheelbarrow, or side-by-side or whatever. But now we're just setting it down with the tractor. So with the pallet forks, just drop it. So avoiding another touch there. So now we're to the point where we are going to have one more touch. So in order to get it from this IBC tote to the wood stove, you are going to have to go ahead and carry it into the house. So from being split, doing it with the IBC tote, pallet forks, and a tractor, you're looking at 2 touches versus 5 touches. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and stack up 1/3 of a cord real quick, time it, and see how long it takes me to stack 1/3 of a cord. If we're saving 3 touches, we can go ahead and multiply how long it takes me to stack that 1/3 of a cord and get an idea of how much time we're saving by having IBC totes, a tractor, and pallet forks. Now, as you can tell, this is freshly split wood here. So we're gonna go ahead and take this down to the seasoning yard, let it dry out. This will be bundle wood for next summer. It is ash, so I probably could sell it now if I really wanted to, but I still like to give it a little bit of time to dry out and season, so that way it burns really nice for the customer in their fire pit. So we're gonna grab this with the pallet forks and the tractor, take it down to the drying yard, and this is another touch that it's gonna save us. When you stack your firewood in a portable stack like this, it's saving you a touch every time you move it. right, so now that we got 2/3 of a cord put away for next year, we're gonna go ahead and get 2/3 of a cord put away for this year. So you can see by moving around 4 baskets just how much time I'm saving. Yet again, this is gonna be another touch that we're gonna save. Are you guys starting to notice a theme here? All right, so there you go. I got a little carried away and I brought 4 baskets up instead of just 2. You can see I've got a smaller 250 gallon one there in the back. The rest of these are 330 gallon IBC totes, and those are the ones that hold about 1/3 of a cord. So there's 1 full cord in the 3 full-size baskets, and then a little less than 1/3 of a cord in that back basket there. But I figured I had the forks on the tractor already. I had the wood in the baskets, and I had some extra space on this pad here. So this pad is right off of our deck that goes right to our front door. So this will be easy access to come out here and grab some firewood to throw in the wood stove. Now this will be the last time that we have to handle the firewood before we burn it and complete the entire firewood cycle. All right, so let's quickly recap what we went over here tonight. If you've got yourself a tractor, a set of pallet forks, and these IBC totes, you can save yourself stacking your firewood 3 different times after you split it and before you burn it. Now, even just this evening here tonight, I moved 6 baskets. I put 2 away for next year to dry out, and I brought 4 up to the house to burn this winter. So just moving those 6 baskets, that's about 1.5 cords worth of wood, I saved myself about 1.5 hours. So let's take that one step further and extrapolate those numbers to a full winter's worth of wood. If you're like me and you've got a wood stove insert that's very efficient, I only burn 5 cords of wood a year. So if we take 5 cords, and that would be 5 times 3 to get it into 1/3 of a cord, so that's 15 1/3 of a cord, and then you multiply that by 15 minutes each, that's 225 minutes, divide that by 60. So for 5 cords a year, you're gonna save yourself 3 hours and 45 minutes of stacking wood a winter. Now, if you've got a wood boiler and you do 10 or 20 cords of wood a year, I mean, you guys can do the math. It's an immense amount of time that you'd spend stacking wood versus just moving it around with the baskets and a set of pallet forks and a tractor. But anyway, I hope you guys got value out of this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, click that subscribe button. And if you want to get your own Hometown Acres, Tractors, Chainsaws, and Firewood t-shirt, I've got a link in the description below. I hope you have a wonderful week with your families, and thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.